That's why they attacked me when I took the air out of her story. Let's see, when Alli Carter came back and, also addressed it.
What happened to Alli Carter? One day, she's spilling the darkest secrets of the music industry, naming names like Diddy and others in wild, tearful live streams. The next, she's gone. No trace, no posts, no answers.
And I'm really sorry. And she got hurt. She bled a lot. And she got really sick. And I didn't get to see her anymore.
Tie 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old children to horse stables and have horses and dogs with them, and then they get off on.
This isn't just another influencer vanishing for clout. Alli was a former child actress who claimed she saw things that'd make your stomach turn, things tied to some of the biggest names in entertainment. Her story's messy, chaotic, and downright disturbing.
You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone.
But it's got people talking. Was she silenced to keep those secrets buried? Stick with me as we unravel her disappearance, the allegations, and the industry machine that might have swallowed her whole. If you're as hooked as I am, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video because this tea is too hot to keep to yourself.
Pressured, attacked, stalked, and hunted down for your own information. You get re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that mattered.
She said Alli Carter wasn't just a random voice on the internet. She was a former child actress who stepped into the spotlight with claims that shook the music world. She didn't whisper these accusations in private. She screamed them on Instagram Live, pointing fingers at Sean Diddy Combs and others for running what she called a twisted empire of power and abuse. Alli said she worked in the industry, saw things firsthand, and wasn't afraid to talk.
So if you throw up on someone, you will have to eat it. If you on someone, you will have to lay in it.
Her stories weren't polished. They were raw, sometimes hard to follow, but always intense. She claimed Diddy wasn't just a music mogul, but a key player in something far darker. And when she started dropping names, the threats rolled in. But here's the thing. Alli didn't back down, even when the heat turned up. So why did someone like her, with everything to lose, keep pushing? That's where things get chilling. Let's dive into what Alli was saying, because her allegations weren't your typical gossip. She talked about freak-offs, invitation-only parties, where unspeakable acts happened, some involving kids as young as 4.
Is the fact that there is a baby in the way. There's babies in the way. There are people that I love that I can't get out of the way.
She didn't just hint at bad behavior, she described rituals, coercion, and a system that thrived on fear. Alli claimed she saw kids chained up, starved, and worse, all while powerful people watched.
And dogs them, and then they get off on that. I don't think people are going to be able to stomach the fact that people hang children upside down in satanic rituals meetings, and they literally hang them.
It's sickening to even repeat, but she wasn't vague. She gave details, settings, even consequences for stepping out of line. She said Diddy's world wasn't about music, it was about control, with tapes and secrets used to keep people in check. You'd think claims this wild would get her laughed off the internet, but something about her voice, shaky, desperate, made people listen. And then just as she got louder, the trouble started. What came next would make anyone's blood run cold. Alli didn't just talk about dark parties. She said she was hunted for it. In her final live streams, she looked exhausted, her voice cracking as she described armed men breaking into her California home, not once, but twice. They didn't just scare her, they tore the place apart, looking for something. Alli said her address was leaked, her license plate exposed, even her kid's location. She wasn't just paranoid, she was terrified, begging viewers to believe her. If anything happens to me, she said, staring into the camera, it's them. She even claimed she'd sent evidence to people around the world, like an insurance policy. The fear wasn't just in her words, it was in her eyes. And the timing? Too perfect. All this happened right as she was set to testify in Diddy's trial. That's when the real questions start piling up. Then poof, Alli vanished. Days before Diddy's trial kicked off in late 2024, she went silent. No TikToks, no live streams, not even a cryptic tweet. Her family filed a missing persons report, but the cops barely lifting a finger. Here's the kicker. Alli was subpoenaed as a key witness, listed as victim 3 in court documents. Prosecutors plan to use her testimony in their opening statement on May 12th, but they couldn't find her. Her lawyers didn't know where she was, nobody did, yet they still pushed forward with her words, like her voice mattered more than her safety. How does a star witness in one of the biggest celebrity trials in history just disappear? And why isn't the world screaming about it? Someone else was, though, and she wasn't about to let this slide. Enter Jaguar Wright, the singer turned whistleblower who's been shouting Alli's story from the rooftops.
You know, every time I've been arrested for something that I didn't do, and yet nobody said, but did he get arrested finally and get the book ready to be thrown at his very, very, very dancing feet? Y'all watch me get arrested there just for bringing Gene Deal to doubt.
Jaguar's no stranger to the industry's dark side. She's called out predators before and paid the price with arrests and harassment. When Alli went missing, Jaguar didn't hesitate. She hit YouTube saying they took her. This ain't no coincidence. She pointed to a pattern. Truth tellers like Alli don't last long without protection. Jaguar's seen it herself. Home invasions, threats, even claims of paid assassins targeting people like her and Cat Williams for spilling secrets. She's furious, demanding answers, and she's not alone. Cat Williams himself backed her up, saying 2024 is the year the industry's lies get exposed. But if Alli's disappearance is part of a bigger plan, who's pulling the strings? That's where the real darkness lies. Alli didn't just accuse Diddy, she pointed to a machine, a network of fixers, assistants, and enablers, keeping the secrets locked tight. One name she dropped was Christina Corum, Diddy's alleged right-hand woman. Lawsuits paint Christina as the one who made things run smoothly, booking rooms, handling logistics, and reportedly silencing anyone who got too loud. Alli claimed Christina was neck-deep in protecting Diddy, even threatening victims to keep quiet. When Alli named her, Christina issued a statement denying everything, acting shocked. But court documents mention evidence, texts, recordings, messages that point to her role. Alli said this wasn't just one man's crimes. It was a system, with videos used for blackmail and power. If she's right, this goes way beyond Diddy. So who else is hiding in the shadows hoping Alli stays gone? Alli Carter's story isn't just about one woman, it's about an industry that chews up truth tellers and spits them out. Her allegations, wild as they were, hit a nerve because they felt real, raw, and messy, like someone who'd seen too much and couldn't stay quiet. Whether you believe every word or not, the timing of her disappearance screams trouble. Right before Diddy's trial, a key witness vanishes and the world barely blinks. Jaguar Wright's still out there, fighting for answers, but the silence from those in power is deafening. If Alli was silenced to protect a billion-dollar machine, who's next? Drop your thoughts below. What do you think happened to her? Was she taken, or is she hiding from something worse? Like, subscribe and keep your eyes open, because this story's far from over.